Hi friends, welcome back to Liz's Reading Corner, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Liz and I like books, and today we are doing another TBR video. Just really quickly, you may hear noises in the background. My little man is home from school at school holidays, so just excuse the noise if you do hear that. So I am making another TBR video. The last one kind of went okay. I feel like if I hadn't got sick, because I got sick about like a week into the month and I've been sick ever since. It's been like 3 weeks. I'm finally starting to get over it. But if I hadn't got so sick and I hadn't spent so much time sleeping, I probably would have stuck to my TBR a little bit more. I also ended up getting some new releases that I was really excited to read, which you'll see in my what I read video that will be coming out after this one. But for this video, like I said, I'm doing my TBR for July. So this month I have tried to do kind of a mix of library books that I have borrowed, my personal books that I have to read, so my physical TBR, which is up here, and also my ebooks. So I have a lot of ebooks. I've had a Kindle a Kindle account for like 12 or almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years at the end of this year. So I have a lot of books on my Kindle, so a lot of ebooks to read. And so I'm slowly going through and just adding ones that I am interested in actually reading to a kind of like a TBR pile. Yeah, so I just wanted to start getting through my Kindle books as well. So yeah, and this is like a big mix. It's not really following any sort of theme basically, except that I'm just trying to get through some of the challenges that I have set for myself. So I do have some books in some book series that I want to get finished. I have some of the Goodreads most difficult novels to read, and then the rest are just kind of books that I've been interested in that I really just want to get through, or like I said, books on my Kindle that I would like to get through as well. When it comes to the most difficult novels to read and my ebooks, I just use a random number generator to pick which book I'm going to be reading, basically, because that's easier than trying to figure out what I want to read. And it kind of just saves me from having just like a big, especially when it comes to the most difficult novels, a big pile of books that I just don't want to read. So it just kind of forces me to read everything basically. So I'm going to start with my Kindle first. So on my Kindle I have 2 books that I would like to read this month. One is Assassins by David Pauly, and it is The Awakening of Artemis by John Kalia. I've genuinely no idea what either of these books are about. Like I said, I use random number generator to choose these books. So this is not sponsored, but a lot of my books I have gotten through BookBub. They send an email, so you can go onto their website and you can sign up to their service. Basically, you can choose what genres you would normally read, and they send you an email newsletter with books that are either really discounted or are free. So a lot of my books I've gotten through them. And I do tend to choose books by their cover. I judge books by their cover all the time. Most of the time I am pretty good and I generally enjoy them, although I do have times where I've judged books by their cover and absolutely not enjoyed them at all. So there's that. And then from my physical TBR, I would like to get The Boy on the Bridge finished this month. This is the second book in the series. The first is The Girl with All the Gifts, which is, I think they're both zombie, like post-apocalyptic books. The first one I really enjoyed, and this is the second one. I got this one from my person Brit. She chose really well when it came to giving me these books, so hopefully I enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed the first one. And the other book on my physical TBR that I would like to get through this month is Fathom Folk. This is a new release from this year. I have tried reading it already and I soft DNF'd it. My little man has asked me to try reading it again because he really likes the cover and the spine, so he has just asked for me to read this one again. On the Libby app I have The River of Silver, which is a collection of short stories of characters from the Diababad trilogy. I didn't actually manage to get to that in June, and I would really like to finish that in July. I also have Welcome to the Hyunamdong Bookshop. I've heard some really good things about that. I really would like to read that one. I have the Fragile Threads of Power from V.E. Schwab, which came out last year. I believe it's the first book in the Threads of Power series. And I've heard some really good things about that and it seems really interesting. The Twyford Code is murder mystery, I believe. I've seen a couple of YouTubers that have read it recently and it seems really interesting, so I'm intrigued. I have Valor, which is the second book in the Malice series by John Gwynne. I struggled reading Malice the first time that I read it and I softened it and then ended up starting to read that one at the start of this year, so we'll see how the second book goes. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I've enjoyed a lot of Riley Sager's books recently or this year, so just another Riley Sager book that I would like to get into. And then I have The Magus by John Fowles, which is in the Goodreads Most Difficult Novels to Read list, and also Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which is also in the Most Difficult Novels to Read. So I do have quite a few ebooks that I would like to get through. I have 8 ebooks that I would like to get through this month. I don't know if I will actually be able to get to all of them. I'm hoping so. The library, if no one has a hold on it after and is like waiting for the book that you have, you can re-borrow them after 21 days or for another 21 days, sorry. But I do only have like 18 days to read them, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I actually get through those. And then we have my library books. So I have the Book of the Unnamed Midwife. One of the YouTubers that I watch suggested or highly suggested this. She said that she really enjoyed it and it sounded really interesting. So I obviously picked that one up. So we have Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell. This is the first book in the Legacy of the Mercenary Kings series. I have read this before, so this one will be a reread. This is trying to get through the book series that I'm in the middle of reading. So this was one of the book series that I wanted to try and get finished this year. Lyriel by Garth Nix. This is the second book in the Old Kingdom series. I absolutely loved Sabriel, and so that was actually a really pleasant surprise, given that, like I said before, I only picked that book because it is the name of my friend's cat. But yeah, so I thought it was about time that I finally got into reading more of this series. Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is the first book in the Lucanius series. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lucanius. I have read this before, so this is another reread, but this is also, again, me trying to get through a book series that I'm in the middle of that I would like to finish this year. Boy of Chaotic Making by Charlie N. Holmberg. This is again a book that I saw in a YouTube video that I thought sounded interesting. I think the YouTuber that I watched didn't actually enjoy this book, but I was intrigued. Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This is another one off of the Goodreads Most Difficult Novels to Read list. So there's, I think, 5 this month that I'm going to be reading. The Island by Adrienne McKinty. Again, this was a book that I saw one of the YouTubers that I watch. Apparently they really enjoyed it, and I've had a couple of other people tell me that this is really good. This is a murder mystery, and hopefully it's a good one. It seems really interesting. The premise is really intriguing. And then last but certainly not least, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I can't for the life of me remember why I picked this book up, or I placed a hold on this book at the library. I have a feeling it has something to do with a YouTube video. The book that my library had was a large print edition, and so it is very big. It's like over 800 pages. I'm not convinced I'm going to like this book. I'm pretty sure I'm going to actually end up DNFing this. So don't be surprised if this ends up on my DNF list for July. I have a feeling it was on a list of a YouTuber who just is like on her list of books that she didn't enjoy, and I was like, well, I wonder why, because a lot of the time when I'm watching YouTube and I'm watching like booktube videos, people will be like, oh, I really didn't like this book, and then my brain tells me to get that book because why didn't they like it? And so here we are with a lot of books that people didn't like that I don't end up liking. And so my DNF list has actually really grown quite substantial this year. I've DNF'd more books this year than I think any other year that I have been reading or like been tracking my reading. So that is my TBR for this month. It is, I believe, 20 books in total. It is a very lofty goal for me, especially because I have quite a few really big assignments due this month. So I don't know if I'll actually get them all read. If I do, then I will be very impressed with myself. But like always, like I said in the last TBR video, my TBRs are not necessarily like a firm thing. If I find books that interest me more through the month, then I'll actually pick them up rather than go to the books that I have on my TBR. It's just kind of like a rough guide as to what I would like to get read this month, especially because, like I said, I have so many like reading challenges that I'm in the middle of doing, and it's just an easy way for me to try and keep track of like where I'm at with my reading challenges and like actually try and stay on track with my reading challenges. That being said, have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? If you have any books that you think I would enjoy reading or any challenges that you think I would enjoy doing, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like what I do here, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.